Hey, this is Jim from San Francisco, California, with a chickens coming home to roost report. Don't know if you all have heard the news about, potential news about Gary Gensler of the SEC, and I don't know if you guys have seen the video that was posted here. I saw it when this gentleman right here on this Twitter handle posted it, I don't know, well, it looks like 4 hours ago, but I saw it, I guess, an hour ago, something like that, retweeted it. I want you to check this out. So basically, if you don't know by now that I never came into this, seeking internet fortune and fame, then you're never going to know. Or you're one of the bad actors on the other side. I never wanted to be a public figure because, I don't want to be some YouTube personality like a lot of these other guys. And I didn't get into this to go set up a Discord channel. I already had a business and have had a business for a long time, a couple of them. So anyway, I thought this was interesting and
from BAM Investor himself, June 5th,
Sure.
2021. Interview with Trey Trades, most viewed AMC stream of all time. Trey was on wired connection and his computer was damaged so badly it had to be replaced. During the live interview, cybersecurity specialist posted screen captures of the DDos attack raining down on San Francisco and Trey's location. When I spoke with Trey after the interview was killed, he was very concerned for his safety. Trey told me that he'd been tracked by a car with a Citadel sticker on the vehicle and that he was followed to a local Cracker Barrel where...
So this is all true. I've mentioned this before, but the Twitter echo chamber has me pretty shadow banned, and then a lot of you guys have never heard about this evidently. So, I've said from the beginning that I kind of came into this with a plan A, B, C, D, all the way through Z. I'm going to share more and more information with everybody over the next probably couple weeks about my idea. It may work spectacularly, and it may not work at all. It may bomb, but I have a plan to help make us all whole, I believe, and it has nothing to do with the person who, in my opinion, is a compromised CEO of the company. We'll continue to watch this.
Two men walked in and watched/intimidated him. Eventually, his military superior was dispatched to the location where Trey was awaiting for protection. In quotes, I've never told this story before, but if you want to know why Trey left the AMC movement, this is probably a major contributing factor. When I said welcome to my world, I was referring to the number of times that I had been under relentless cyber attack at home and in the office over the prior months and year.
So if you guys remember that was when the shills started to attack my Twitter account a little more aggressively. That's when people claimed that I was trying to set Trey up by sending him a loaded computer, a computer loaded with a bunch of spy software and all this other outlandish stuff. And so I'm glad that this guy reiterated the fact that all I told Trey was that I would pay for his new computer. And the only reason I said that is because I felt like it was my responsibility, because the guy had been fine prior to interviewing me, and when he interviewed me, we had the massive DDoS attack both on my office here in San Francisco and on his hotel. He was hardwired, and so the guy that's doing this interview really lays this out well, better than I have, because I haven't taken the time to put something together and edit it the way he did.
Like, if my internet looks good, but this looks like this thing is crashed. I've never seen this on my computer.
So, welcome to my world.
What the heck just happened?
Welcome to my world. Everyone's thought for the past 5 years that what was happening to my cell phone really wasn't happening. What was happening at home at the office wasn't happening.
I've got a wired connection right now.
So again, he says right there he has a wired connection. If you guys think back when this happened, first thing people said was the reason BAM said, BAM is what they call me. My real name is Jim Savoldi. You guys have seen my LinkedIn. Everybody knows everything about me. I've had my face on video multiple times on Twitter. I just don't like to do the live video stuff these other guys do for one reason. Depending on camera angles and things like that, I have a lot of things in my office that I don't want people to see. And it would be a huge pain in the ass to have to worry about exposing things on computers and everything else. But But so number one, as I said, I never wanted to send Trey a computer. I was going to send him money to buy that new laptop for himself. And then number two, this idea about the DDoS attack being fake, completely wrong. The DDoS attack was real, and multiple people posted videos after that, during that interview, and then after that interview, showing it literally looked like Star Wars with traffic landing in San Francisco and in this little tiny town he was in Oklahoma. So again, all BS, and I'm really glad that this young guy took the time to post this.
My internet should be fine. I can't see anything on my screens. Everything just went black.
I've got a PhD cybersecurity person. I've got a new team that's setting up all my new systems, and they're going to be monitored out of Israel 24/7. So
that was the other thing everybody started to laugh about. Not everybody, but the shills on Twitter. This idea of BAM's claiming that he has this cybersecurity team out of Israel. I absolutely did. I hired a top-notch person in the United States. His team was in Israel. He's a guy who had been a previous hacker, was caught by the FBI, and scared straight, turned straight, which that happens a lot, especially with younger hackers. And his support team was operating out of Israel, which is very well known for top-notch cybersecurity. I finally quit that after a number of months because it was just unbelievably expensive. And just like when they hacked my websites and hack a Nimoy and cause all these problems, it just is the hugest bleed of time and money. And I just wasn't going to continue to throw that kind of money at trying to lock down the systems. I went a little different route where I just separated sort of the systems that I use for certain things from my other more locked down systems, and did a couple other little things.
Anyway, welcome to my world, but I'm not going away. You're not going away. Call me anytime you want, and we'll talk about anything you want.
When I learned that his computer had been destroyed during the interview, I offered to pay for a new computer, not to send him a new computer, as the shills claimed all over Twitter. The goal of bad actors was and is to divide the AMC community and create distrust between all of us. In Trey's case,
100% true, and they succeeded.
They succeeded, as he never returned any of my texts or calls after this event. I wished him well, and although I'll never give up and I'll never quit exposing corruption, I understand why a younger person would want to step away from this nightmare. They have destroyed my business and reputation built up for decades, and although I don't blame my divorce on these attacks, who knows if they played a role. As for me, I filed an SEC whistleblower report many months ago, and I continue to gather information and video proof of stock manipulation and continue to
all true. And if you guys are on Twitter at all, you've seen I don't know how many videos I posted at this point with some very, very specific information. And then, as far as the whistleblower report with the SEC, these are considered open and ongoing, and I'm allowed to continue to send them and upload video if and when I think I have any new information.
Pass it along to whoever will listen. Good luck. We were not wrong. We had them beat.
Got a beautiful guest here with us. You can't see his face. This is just a decision that he's made, and we respect privacy here, obviously, but this is BAM Investor on the call.
At the very start, Trey quoted that we of course respect privacy. At the beginning of this interview, Trey ends up having a little bit of software issues.
Great to have you here, brother. Oh, it looks like the streaming software might have done something goofy. You gotta make sure this is still working okay. I think it's still good.
At least, he quotes, at least we thought. Which is odd, especially being on wired connection from what we know. Now, what is a DDoS attack, and why was it on Trey's location? A denial of service attack is a cyber attack in which the perpetrator seeks to make a machine or network resource unavailable to its intended users by temporarily.
And remember, prior to this interview, my laptop had been fried in the San Francisco office, and I even showed video of the screen on the laptop and a couple of my monitors that were attached to it. And basically it was black screened. Now, I was able to recover and use that. It was an expensive, high performance trading laptop. I was able to salvage it and use it for something else. I never, once something's toasted like that, I never put it back online because I just don't have the confidence that, the people that I use to scrub things and everything else have completed the job, so I just don't trust it. I always go and get new systems. But I was at least able to salvage this, $3,000 laptop, whereas Trey's laptop was fried. And again, that's the reason I offered to buy him a new one.
Or indefinitely disrupting services of a host connected to a network. So a DDoS attack on his location while being wired and having issues. The interview ended up being killed. Following that, a close friend reaches out to him, and the information that was gathered is that Trey was afraid for his safety. This is where we stand right now. I just find it a little bit odd that social media is toxic, of course. Comments are toxic, and this was the initial reason we thought Trey left. But why did 4, 5, 6 other influencers leave the AMC community? Were they paid off or were they threatened? We've seen previously FINRA being fined, paying influencers off to write false narratives or biased opinions. So this could not be too far-fetched. Where did Trey Trades go? Where did Short the VIX, Mass Investor, Lou versus Wall Street, Review Door, all of them go when talking about AMC when it comes?
So we know what happened to Lou, and that was really unfortunate. Sorry to hear about that, of course, and condolences out to his friends and family. As far as those other people, especially somebody like this Review dork, they're not important enough for anybody to pay off, and nobody's going to threaten their life. Those guys came in, established a community, and then went off and made a bunch of money off of their Discord or whatever that else they're doing. In the case of Coors, of course, he just always talked in terms of his brand, and he went off and did his thing too. So that's why they're all gone. And the reason I'm still here is because I told everyone from the beginning that reputationally I had the most to lose. I had my real name out there the entire time. I've got a family name to protect as opposed to these other people. And I said from the beginning, I'm going to see it through. And it hasn't been fun, obviously, for any of us. But I talked about plan A through plan Z. I'll talk about a little bit more when this video ends. Toward the end of it, but I think I have a plan here that stands a good chance of working. It's going to blow people away, I believe, because it's nothing that anyone expects.
Comes to AMC. An update on Trey's life. He's been training, eating well, working on his physique, looking like an absolute barbarian. Is he doing all of this because somebody is after him? Is he doing all of this because Citadel was after him? He felt like he didn't have control over his life, over his situation, over his safety, even going to his personal face.
By the way, when I was at Auburn, Bill Kazmaier was our strength coach, and I was in the training room one time on a table next to him, and it was when he was at his peak in the World's Strongest Man competition. So I think it was either 6'2", 6'3", something like that, 330 pounds. The most massive human I've ever seen. But the visual there of Trey, and God bless him, I hope he's having fun and things are going well for him. But that's a pretty juicy physique based on everything I know about people who have been on the juice. And that time I had a close look at Kazmaier. By the way, he used to actually do dialysis because he was on so many steroids. It wasn't a secret, but he was on so many steroids that he needed to filter his blood periodically after he cycled, just to protect his kidney and his internal organs. Anyway, Trey looks great, but make no mistake, kids, that's not from eating liver. That's from eating the stuff that Liver King eats. And don't do that if you're young, because it can stunt your growth, by the way.
Facebook profile now. Till this day, people from the AMC movement are still asking him to come back and what happened, and he will not give answers. However, putting piece to piece together why Trey randomly went this fitness route, could this have been a possibility as to why Trey left? Could this happen to others? Could this happen to me if I continue to grow? Just know if I ever go missing, it won't be my own decision. And you guys remember that. As we wait for Trey to potentially return to the community, lamp off, peace.
Cheers! Happy Friday, happy holidays. I hope everyone's having a great week.
So I don't know the guy that made this video, but he seems to be a straight shooter, and I've watched a couple of his other videos in the past, and he's never come across to me as being, one of these pumpers, like that guy from that James guy from overseas that libeled me and then had to post a public retraction in a video on his channel. That guy is absurd, zero value add, and just, day after day after day telling everybody, MOAS is coming. The only time I've ever used the word MOAS since I first got involved in, March, April of 2021 was when I was telling people that there was nothing in my work that said we were going to have a MOAS. But what we did have is we had a really, really bullish setup that could lead to a really, really profitable trade / investment, depending on the length of time that it happens. So, all these people that continue to just post these absurd messages, remember, you guys, we are more than 85%. We were more than 85% below the all-time low posted in 2021 prior to the big run up in January and May into that June top. You don't move straight down and move to have that kind of a bloodbath decline, 85% below the all-time low, not off the top, below the all-time low, and not have a tremendous amount of short covering take place. It's the most absurd thing I've ever heard. That doesn't mean that I'm that I don't support the stock, that I'm not long the stock, and that I don't think that we can make some nice upside progress. But it's just, if anyone knows anything about markets, they know that you just do not come off of a bottom and go straight up to these numbers people are talking about. I mean, these people are talking about 20,000% gains and things like this. If something like that were to ever happen, it would take multiple years. You have to repair the velocity. The spine of the stock has been snapped. The patient has to sit in the hospital for a while, mend, then slowly get up, walk to the bathroom by themselves, as their first goal, and then slowly walk a half a mile, and then slowly get more comfortable, and then maybe one day jog, and that's how it works. So you guys know the price targets I have on the board. Unless we can get above the anemoid terminal daily trigger, we're not going to enter that fast market acceleration zone, which carries you up to the weekly trigger up in the 8s, and gives us a shot to shoot through that weekly trigger and move up to the BAM hidden retest at 1325. But once that happens, on the first leg up off of this washout low, we need to repair. Go back and look at the price structure from the January move up, and then a 3 or 4 month, I believe it was, consolidation, sort of triangle looking pattern, and then the big leg up. So down the road, absolutely. The MOAS numbers are just dumb. They've been dumb from the beginning because Wall Street and the government will never, ever, ever let a single stock snap the spine of the global financial markets. If there's systemic risk, you know that there is a ceiling on price. So you just have to be realistic, not naive, and be smart about things, and know when to exit based on if and when any stock approaches a systemically risky level for the financial system. They will not let that happen, period. History proves it. Anyway, that's it from my side. Hope everyone's well, and hope you've enjoyed the move up off of the lows. I can just tell you that I think at some point in the next 2 weeks I can share everything I've been working on. It's nothing anyone's expecting, meaning any of you or any of the bad actors. Once it's implemented, there's nothing they can do to defend against it, and you'll understand why when I make it public. And then what I'm hoping is, if it's a success, and I think it can be, that it can make a whole lot of us whole again, whether or not the regulators help, whether or not Adam Aaron helps, whether or not anyone on Wall Street helps. I'm not leaving this in their hands. And so that's what I've been working on for months now, and hopefully we're only weeks away from this coming to fruition. I'll keep everybody posted. Hope everyone's well. Good luck.